Hi, good evening everyone. This is Kabir from CSET. Today our presentation is about machine learning and I will be covering the concepts of supervised learning. So coming on to the first slide, 3 W's of machine learning. What is machine learning? Why machine learning? When to use machine learning? What is machine learning? Machine learning is basically an application of artificial intelligence where computer or a machine learns from a past experience. Like we already have the past experience regarding the data we have, and we make the future predictions as per the data. In order to perform the task, the system learns from the data set provided. Then why machine learning? It allows the user to feed computer algorithms with an immense amount of data and let the computer analyze and make data-driven recommendations and decisions based on only on the input data. Then when to use machine learning? Machine learning is typically used for the projects that involve predicting an output or uncovering trends. What I mean to say is there will be an historical data and we will having the predictive algorithm for the data to make a model. And in that model, we will just give the new data to make the predictions. A limited body of data is used to help machine learning patterns that they can later use to make a correct determination on new input data. Machine learning versus others. Machine learning versus statistics. Traditional statistics focus on probable results with mathematical assumptions and care less about computation. Basically, statistics is a useful tool for machine learning, like we have to plot many of the graphs for our data. Machine learning versus artificial intelligence. Machine learning is one possible route to realize the artificial intelligence. Basically, it is a part of AI. Machine learning versus data mining. Traditionally, data mining focus on probable results with math assumptions along with efficient computations in larger data sets. What I mean to say is when we have larger data sets, we use the technique data mining to get the exact data that we require. It is difficult to distinguish between machine learning and data mining in reality. Some of the popular use cases in identifying prospective customers, dissatisfied customers, good customers, bad players. And what we obtain, more effective advertising, less credit risk, fewer fraud, decreased churn rate. Churn rate here means the powdered information like we get from various platforms, so it usually decreases. And in the field of security, like in face recognition, signature, fingerprint, iris verification, and DNA fingerprinting. Types of learning, supervised versus unsupervised learning. So what is basically supervised learning? Supervised learning is where you have input variables like x and you also have an output variable y and you use your algorithm to learn the mapping function. Mapping function here refers to a target function like the end of the program predictions from the input to the output. The goal is to approximate the mapping function so well that when you have new input data that you can predict the output variables for the data. Like we have all the input data and on that data we can predict the output. Unsupervised learning. In unsupervised learning is where only you have the input data but no corresponding output variables. Like you don't have any labels to the data that what does that data belongs to. The goal for unsupervised learning is to model the underlying structure or distribution in the data in order to learn more data about the data. Examples of supervised learning. Basically, in this image, the image shown here is the apple and the banana. In this, we have labels present like category. We know the category. We know the weight. We could also add price. We could also have colors. And we could also have a taste column as well. That is a label data in which we have all the information about the data. And we just usually predict it. Some widely used supervised learning algorithms are logistic regression, linear regression, and could be random forest, Naive Bayes theorem, SVM, and many more. So here is the basic idea of supervised learning algorithm. In case of basic regression, we have linear and logistic. What is linear regression? Basically, linear regression is a numerical data in which we have the input data for the continuous type. Like, for example, we could take a price for a house. It usually increase and decrease. That comes under the continuous data. And coming on to the logistic, logistic data is basically when you don't have a continuous data, like it will rain or not, in form of yes or no. You have the target variable in categorical form, either yes or no. And coming on to the classification models, we have KNN, decision trees, random forest, SVM. So basically, what is KNN? It is a simple supervised machine learning algorithm and very easy to implement. It classifies basically on the majority of voting of its neighbors. And decision trees is a multiple algorithm to decide and to split the data in form of nodes in either one node, two nodes. Random forest classifier. Random forest classifier creates a set of decision trees to randomly select a particular tree and finally just predict the output. And SVM can be even used for treating the outliers in a program. The linear SVM model puts a straight line between two classes. And coming on to the last classification model, that is Naive Bayes. It is the most simple and effective classification algorithm which helps in building ML models that can make quick predictions. It is basically using the data when we have huge amount of input data to just predict as fast as possible. It is basically a probabilistic classifier which predicts on the probability of an object. Unsupervised learning. Unsupervised learning, you can see in the image that cat, there is no input data. Like we don't know that this is an apple. We, I mean to say, we know, but machine doesn't know that this is an apple. We don't have any labeled data. We don't have any given information for the data. So all this comes under the unsupervised learning. So building a machine learning model consists of following steps. The steps are, first of all, problem formulation. First, we will formulate the problem, that what is basically the problem and what we will be predicting. Then there will be data tidying, pre-processing, then train test split, model building, validation and model accuracy, and finally the prediction. Like coming on to the implementation part, I have just taken an example of real estate. The model is created keeping in mind that real estate sector, which is highly considered for the purpose of investment. The model uses linear regression approach to predict house price. Some of the factors that are used in prediction is air quality index, nearby airport, nearby hospitals and bus terminals, crime rate, and water body near the property. Like these are the factors that usually when you go to buy a home, you usually see what are the nearby facilities that we are having. So coming on to the coding part, so it is basically first I will be importing the necessary libraries like NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib, and Seaborn. Then I will be importing the data set. Then I will be just printing the data dot hash, which will print the top 5 rows of the data to just get the basic information. Now, and the next we will check the info of the data set, like is there any null value and what is the total rows and columns in our data. Like the first side image, that is left hand side image, you can see there are 506 rows and 19 columns. And we have price, crime rate, and many more columns name. And just coming on to the next part, we will check for the null values. And like we are checking for the null values, I have made an arrow in n host batch. There are 8 null values. So it will be creating a lot of error if we will not be removing it. So just we will treat the null values first. Filling the null values, I can fill the null values with the mean values of all the values in that data. I will just take the data and fill na dot mean. And in the next part, I will again check the data set and we will found that in the nhost batch there are 506. Now it's complete. Later, like in the previous image, it was 498. I have made an arrow for that. Now we'll be checking the correlation. For checking the correlation between the features, we will be using heat map. For using the heat map, we will just plot a figure of size 12 by 12 and using the SNS library, that was Seaborn library. We will use the data correlate and annotate as true. And here is the correlation data for all the values. And just on examining it, you will see that in the center, there is a white column that has 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. That is this one, this two, and this three, which is currently showing that the data is highly correlated, which means that this data is of no use. So as a next step, I would be just dropping all this data from the our from input data. Like I have just dropped this one, this two, and this three. And after that, I will check the data again, and I found that there is only a one disk. This that is disk four. All three other are dropped. And I will now check the dependencies. Like I have just checked the room num and the price using the SNS joint plot to just check is there any outlier or not. So it is the graph for that, and the kind used is regression, and it's a joint plot between room num and price. Now the other part comes, that is transforming the categorical values to numerical values. Like we have two to three columns that are airport, bus terminal, and water bodies. So that are of no use because they are categorical values. So I am converting using label encoder. So it will now be converted into in form of 0 and 1. Like I have shown in the data, you can check the airport value, airport column. It is 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, and 1. And earlier it was yes and no. Now after all this data typing, I will be just doing x and y. I will be just assigning x and y. And in x, I am taking every column and dropping the price. And in y, I am taking the price. And as a next part, I am using the standard scalar to convert all the features to just the basically what is standard scalar here is to standardize the feature of by subtracting the mean and then again scaling them for better accuracy. And as a next part, I am going to implement train test and split. And from sklearn model selection, I am importing train test and using xtrain, ytrain, and xtest, ytest. And, and as a final step, I'm importing the linear regression model and fitting the xtrain and ytrain values to it. And finally, I'm importing the linear regression and just predicting the values using the xtest and printing the y predictions for that. And we can also then check for R2 score as well and mean squared error to get better accuracy, and can again check the data. So that was the first example for the real estate pricing. Coming on to the second example, that is life expectancy model. The model is created to determine the life expectancy across various countries. The model uses application of linear regression. It is basically the same I did earlier. So I have not shown the implementation of linear regression. I have only shown the prediction using ridge regression and lasso regression. Some factors that are used in predictions are country, adult mortality rate, alcohol consumption, GDP, HIV, BMI, cancer, and population. So all these factors are kept in mind before prediction. So basically, what are ridge and lasso regression? So ridge and lasso are some of the simple techniques to reduce model complexity and prevent overfitting, which may result for simple linear regression. Actually, yesterday we were just discussing about the dimensionality reduction. So these both are the part of regularization, and regularization is a part of dimensionality reduction. So basically, we are using these both of the terms to get better accuracy. We can use in the model after linear regression, like we can just import them to check who is that among three who is giving the better accuracy. Lasso is a modification of linear regression where the model is penalized for the sum of absolute values of the weights. Thus, the absolute values of weight will be in general reduced and may will tend to be zero. Like the values which are not to be needed will be many will be 10 to 0 during the training for better accuracy. And in the ridge takes a step further and penalizes the model for the sum squared values of the weights. Thus, weights not only tend to have smaller absolute values, but also really tend to penalize the extremist weights, resulting in a group of weights that are more evenly distributed. So basically, when we import both of these, they uses the intercept and coefficients of the object and predicts the better accuracy by just penalizing the object model, object value to zero or nearly to zeros. So I am just showing the sklearn implementation, that how can you implement this. Like from sklearn model, you can import reach. Then reach will always have a alpha value 1, and we will fit x train and y train. Then we will predict the values and again check the mean squared error and coefficient and intercept. And we'll be doing same with the lasso. We have the alpha value as 1. We will train x and y. We will predict the values and set our score. And at last, we will be getting a new coefficients and new intercepts. And from all three models, we will get the best accuracy from the one. Thank you.